for coming out this evening in this windy evening. I have a public service announcement for your, in case of an emergency, could everyone please exit the chamber, proceeding down the first and right and left stairway to the ground floor to exit the building to allow for emergency personnel to enter. The mayor has another engagement this evening, so he wants to have a little brief comment here. So we're going to let him speak, and then we'll go on with the meeting. Thank you. Mayor Shane. Gallo. Thanks, Keith.
I have to file a claim against the city.
No.
The assumption of the risk, right? No, but first of all, I want to thank all of you for attending tonight. This is really very, very, very great to see the response, and we're very pleased also with the response that we got from our survey. Without this kind of public participation, then this study and the revision of the comprehensive plan is useless. I want to thank Mr. Noble, Sue Cahill, Mr. Schuster, for organizing this event, and once again your participation. And just some quick thoughts. I have already spoken to Jimmy and Sue, and I'll reiterate this after I sit down with Mr. Schuster. In 1 year of being in office, all of what you're dealing with right now, I have quite a bit of experience with. In other words, the issues you're going to be facing with respect to historical districts, zoning overlays, tax districts and the consequences of different kinds of economic development, all of that I've experienced in 1 year in office. So I'd ask you, as you're going through your analysis and review, and when you consider, for instance, Uptown Kingston, take into account the historical stockade district and the fact that the American Planning Association, as probably many of you, if not all know, we received a national award for being one of the best, greatest streetscapes in the United States. I'd ask you to take into account the setting from the Old Dutch Church to the Senate House, the overall stockade district. I'd ask you to also consider the fact that the parking garage, we're currently going to put an RFP out for its development. So that's the Uptown area with a little flavor. There's also issues of signage. There's issues of parking. You go to Midtown, where we have UPAC and we have 721. We have an arts business digital corridor. I'm in the process of hopefully, and I'm looking very hopeful, that we will be able to put a police station at the Bank of America. We now have title to the building, and we're going to be taking some other steps to facilitate it to that end. But what you have in Midtown is the potential for major revitalization. We intend to undertake an ambitious effort to help with the infrastructure of the sidewalks and the exterior fascia of all of those businesses there. And we're coming up with some ideas, Jen Fuentes and I, that we're going to present to the KLDC, the Kingston Loan Development Corporation, for grants to that end, to facilitate that kind of economic revitalization along that corridor. You go down to downtown, it's pretty much of a no-brainer too with what's going on down there. You have a plethora, the entire promenade area, which is across from Mr. Guido's restaurant, Mariners, is essentially this lovely promenade that goes past or behind a number of our museums. And now the Clearwater is there as well, okay, where they dry dock for the winter and make repairs on their boat. So what am I trying to say? I'm asking you respectfully that when you go about your analysis and your review, you take into account that there are 3 districts in Kingston which make up, in the totality, one great, beautiful city with assets that need to be reviewed, inventoried, and then taken into account how we can develop those respective areas, how we can use this comprehensive plan as a blueprint, okay, which facilitates more money, be it from the federal or state government, like we did with the waterfront revitalization plan back in the mid-90s, I believe, when my brother T.R. was mayor at that time, with the help of people like Abel Garrigan and then Steve Finkel and all the downtown business people. So I've said enough. As you know, I got to get out to the college for Mr. Hines' State of the County, which he's going to announce various initiatives that the city and the county are working on in partnership together. Again, I want to thank you. I want to really thank you again for your participation in the work of Mr. Noble, okay, and Sue, and Mr. Schuster and his associates. And with that in mind, get to work.